is good, YouTube? It's Tuesday. You know what that means. It is time for another edition of the Wrestling with Fans podcast. We are a pro wrestling podcast created by fans for fans from a fan's perspective. My name is Kyle, and I think we're on episode 163. 163. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Money in the Bank. And we're going to be talking about last night's Monday Night Raw. What is up, Power Gaming? Welcome to the stream, my friend. I was trying to get some stuff squared away. I was testing some stuff out the other night, changed some settings, and I forgot to change them back. So therefore, that's why y'all didn't hear music. That's why things were a little off. That's why we're getting a little bit of a later start than normal. But it is all good in the hood. Yes, John Cena, welcome back. Money in the Bank was great. We're going to talk about all of that. I really, really like Money in the Bank. Not so much Monday Night Raw, but we'll get into that here in just a few minutes. Before we dive in, we live stream every single Tuesday and Thursday right here on the Wrestling with Fans YouTube channel. So if you're watching us live, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can also follow Wrestling with Fans across social media. Facebook.com/Wrestling with Fans. You know about the YouTube channel because you're right here, right now. But if you're listening to the audio version, YouTube.com/Wrestling with Fans. Click that subscribe button. Click the little bell, set your notifications to always be notified anytime a video goes up or anytime we're live. You can follow us on Instagram at Wrestling with Fans. Check us out on the web, WrestlingWithFans.com. Download or stream the audio shows at any time. New audio shows are posted every single Saturday morning at 6:05 a.m. Eastern. Or you can take us on the go, download us to your favorite podcast listening device. You can get us wherever you get your podcast fix. Just search Wrestling with Fans Podcast. Last but certainly not least, shoot us an email. If you got questions, topics you would like us to discuss, all of that good stuff, you can reach us at wwf.show@gmail.com. So thanks to everybody that joined me last Friday. I live streamed during the first SmackDown Back with Fans. It was a lot of fun to watch live with fans in attendance. Really, really enjoyed it. I don't want to touch too much on it because, again, excuse me, I watched it live with a few of you guys in here. Thanks again for those that joined. We're going to do our reviews, and we'll open up the chat. I'll catch up on the chat after we get to talk about Money in the Bank, and then we'll talk about Raw. We'll open up the chat again, and then I've got some fun wrestling memes. I didn't do them last week because there really wasn't a lot out there, but after Money in the Bank and Raw this week, there are some fire memes on the internet, and I've got a nice collection to share with you wonderful people this evening. But let's dive right in to Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank took place Sunday, July the 18th from the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. And before I dive into the show, let's talk. Actually, no, we'll do it at the end. We'll do it at the end. I'll save it to the end. My little rant on Peacock, because I'm about up to here. And if you're listening to the audio version, I'm up to the top of my head. I'm all the way up to here with Peacock right now. We kicked off Money in the Bank on the pre-show with Dominic and Rey Mysterio defending the SmackDown Tag Team titles against Jay and Jimmy Uso. Now, I was not here to watch the pre-show. I missed it. Chris and I are grinding through videos for KC Toys. Links for that is in the video description below. Jimmy and Jay are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions So now the Samoan dynasty is draped in all the gold. Or will they be? We'll talk about that match later on. Then to start off the show proper, and again, I missed the first part of this match. It was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match kicking off the show. Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Liv Morgan, Naomi, Natalya, Tamina, Zelina Vega, and your winner and the new Miss Money in the Bank, albeit temporarily, Nikki, almost a superhero. The match itself was pretty good. Again, I missed the first part of it live. I did go back and watch the entirety of the match earlier today just to make sure I caught up on everything. But I really enjoyed the women's match. There were some good spots. I wasn't a big fan of the Alexa stuff with Zelina and the hypnotizing, whatever they're doing. I was really hoping when fans came back in the arenas that the hocus pocus stuff was done. I was really, really hoping, and even on Raw, we got Lily back, unfortunately. But overall, the match was good. You had the majority of the women battling out on top of the ladders. Nikki creeps up, climbs over all of them, and snatches the briefcase. The match goes 15 minutes and 46 seconds. Again, a solid opener. The crowd was really into a lot of them. They popped hard for Alexa, but they weren't really digging the hocus pocus stuff. Again, that's the only real bad thing I have to say about the match. And Tamina, I don't like, I'm trying not to be so negative and criticize, but Tamina just seems so out of place with all the other talent in the ring. She has her place and she has her lane that she needs to stay in. And a Money in the Bank match is not something that I think goes to Tamina's strengths. I think this style of match is more reserved for somebody with a different set of skills than Tamina is, the way I'll put it. But overall, real fun opener to the show. Up next is the Raw Tag Team Championship match. AJ Styles and Omos successfully defending the title against Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, in just under 13 minutes. Not really a lot to talk about in this match. It was a solid tag match. They were given, more time than I expected them to get. But again, solid match. AJ Styles and Omos retain. Then we get to the WWE Championship match. Bobby Lashley defending against Kofi Kingston. I just want to say right off the jump here, Kofi's attire, the Skeletor-themed attire for Money in the Bank, was amazing. I really love the pop culture / geek culture outfits that Kofi and Xavier Woods have been doing lately. They've done Mortal Kombat. They've done the Green and White Ranger from Power Rangers. And now Kofi rocking the Skeletor-themed attire. Loved it. Mattel, we need a toy of that, Mattel. We need a Kofi Kingston. I would love a Kofi Xavier 2-pack with the Green and White Ranger, or even Scorpion Sub-Zero. I'd be cool with either one. And I'm sure Xavier's probably got a He-Man inspired outfit to counter Kofi Skeletor. But again, awesome attire. The match itself was a little different than I expected. I fully expected Kofi to get a lot more offense in than he did. I was really thinking they were going to do Kofi right this time and give him more offense in the match than he got. It was pretty much a 7-minute and 43-second squash match for Lashley. Kofi did get a little bit of stuff in here and there, but again, not a lot to go off of. Lashley tapping Kofi at 7:43. Next on the card was the Raw Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley defending against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Now, I've talked in recent weeks about how this was the least interested in a match I was. We've seen these two go back and forth for months now. Neither has been booked really as a pure babyface. Rhea is trying to out Charlotte, and she has no personality. We'd never figure out what her motivations were. And neither one of them are very likable. All that being said, the match itself was great. I was pleasantly surprised and kind of in awe of what these two were able to do. I liked their match at last year's WrestleMania. I haven't really been impressed too much with anything that they've done since then earlier this year, but this was just a great match. Charlotte and Rhea, if they give them a better story, give Rhea some personality other than I'm just going to try to out Charlotte Flair, which it obviously didn't work. Give her a little personality and let's revisit these two down the line. Great match. Rhea tapping to the figure 8 in just under 17 minutes. And Charlotte Flair is your brand new 11-time women's champion. So she's only 5 shy of her father's record. I fully expect Charlotte to eclipse 16 by the end of her career. She's already at 11. I'll jump ahead just briefly for a quick moment. Charlotte did cut that promo. She was a 1-time Divas champ, the last ever, 5-time SmackDown Women's champ, 5-time Raw Women's champ. That 16-time world champ record is definitely going to be falling by the end of her career. We'll follow up more on this with Raw. Next, the penultimate match, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Drew McIntyre, John Morrison, Kevin Owens, Ricochet, Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura, and your eventual winner and Mr. Money in the Bank 2021, Big E. And I'd just say overall, this was one of the best Money in the Bank ladder matches that we saw. One of the best Money in the Bank ladder matches that we've seen. Crazy spots, more, Ricochet and Morrison doing stuff. I really enjoyed the spots that they were doing. KO doing KO things and taking crazy KO bumps. Big E, the eventual winner, hitting Seth with the big ending from near the top of the ladder was insane. The crowd popped really hard for that, and they popped really hard for the finish. Great match. Really excited to see where they take this Big E storyline with the briefcase. I hope he doesn't go after Roman, and I'll touch on that at another time. But I really hope Big E hops over to Raw and goes after the WWE Championship and not Roman. I think he'll be better served going after Lashley. And in the main event, your Universal Champion, your Tribal Chief, your head of the table, acknowledge him, Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Edge. This match went just over 33 minutes. They were the longest match by a solid 15 minutes over anything else on the card. And I know there's a lot of people that aren't huge fans of these long storytelling matches with Roman, the ones that he's been having in the last year. I love them. It's a little mix of new school, a little mix of old school. Really enjoyed it. Solid match. Roman picking up the win again in 33 minutes and 10 seconds. Which is going to lead into the next thing we're going to talk about with Monday Night Raw. The return of Vin Diesel's brother. The return of Vin Diesel's brother. We didn't see him. The crowd reacted. We heard his music. You couldn't see him. But John Cena making his return to the company, playing to the crowd. The crowd went crazy. Like, I literally legit got goosebumps hearing that crowd pop for John Cena. It was absolutely insane. The biggest pop that the WWE has gotten since the fans on Friday. He got another one on when he opened Monday Night Raw. Just absolutely insane to hear that crowd reaction for Cena. He comes out, stares down Roman, and the show goes off the air. If you want to look it up, they've put it out on social media, and you can find videos of it. He did cut a promo for the live crowd after the show ended. But Money in the Bank, for me, is a solid 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was a great show, top to bottom. Only a few hiccups here and there, like in the women's match with Alexa and Tamina. And the Raw tag match was It could have been a TV match. But overall, great pay-per-view. One of the best Money in the Banks we've seen in a long time. And I was very, very happy with that show. Let's go here to the chat. Let's talk to the chat. Let me go catch up. Let's see. No Becky Lynch. Yep, I was really hoping we'd be seeing Becky Lynch soon. Just Eli, what's going on, my man? Chris, Rhea's back is as big as Roman's. That's very possible. I mean, you could line them up. Might be pretty close. Power Game says, what kind of really made me laugh was there was barely any boos beside from Bobby Lashley. Yeah, I think the fans were just happy to see everybody back in person. Even Roman got some initial cheers on SmackDown on Friday when he first came out. And Suge Gamer, what is good, my friend? Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the live stream. What do you guys think of Money in the Bank? Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll catch up on that. But again, yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Money in the Bank. On paper, there was a few matches I thought could have been, pretty decent. There's a few that I wasn't really worried about, like Rhea and Charlotte. But I tell you what, they really proved me wrong, Rhea and Charlotte. I got to give them credit. Put on a solid match, front to back. Really, really good match. Now, Monday Night Raw, on the other hand, is a completely different story. There's some things on Raw that were really, really cool. There were some things on Raw that made absolutely no sense. And there were some things on Raw that were just plain bad, to be perfectly blunt. Now, again, Cena opens Raw to another amazing pop. Another amazing pop for John Cena. He comes out and cuts, his typical kind of promo. Calls Roman Reigns an asshole. Says, he's on Raw just, for the fans, but, his real goal is to go after Roman in the Universal title. Which is good. It's good that we kind of know what his motivations are, even though we are pretty sure we know what they are. It's going after Roman, obviously. But to end this segment, we do get Matt Riddle coming out. And him and John Cena do a little acapella something or another. I think it was Randy Orton's theme they were trying to do. Which leads into the opening match. Riddle and the Viking Raiders versus Morrison, AJ Styles, and Omos. It was a pretty fun six-man tag. It's WWE booking 101 with six-man tags. The only thing to me that seemed a bit off is that Ricochet, I think, should have been in the match instead of Matt Riddle. Ricochet has been feuding with John Morrison and The Miz in recent weeks. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't have put him in the six-man tag match instead of Matt Riddle. Maybe they did that just, with the Riddle segue with Cena, and they just kind of kept it that way. I don't know. Again, it was a fun match. Nothing too terribly crazy. We get a Symphony of Destruction match, the second time we've seen one. The first time was Elias and Braun Strowman. This time is Elias and Jackson Ryker. Elias is so back over with the fans. The first time he's been able to sit in the ring with the spotlight on him. Got a huge walk with Elias chant during his promo. Ryker comes out, and the match itself was whatever. I kind of fast forwarded through it in on like 2x speed. Ryker picked up the win after hitting a superplex through two tables. If you're into that kind of stuff, the goofy gimmicky, instrument matches, I'm sure you probably liked it. Me, on the other hand, not so much. Riker was technically the baby face here, and Elias got more of a baby face reaction than him. So I don't know what WWE's plans are with Jackson Riker going forward. Um, and I think Elias would probably be better off as a tweener instead of them trying to have him over as a purebred heel. The fans love Elias. They love to chant with with Elias. They walk with Elias. Who knows if this win will get Riker anything other than a win on Raw against his former partner. We'll see. Up next was Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Natalya and Tamina for the 372nd time in 2021. I don't honestly even care about the match. I fast forwarded. Natalya and Tamina pick up the win in just under 4 minutes. The ending, though, was interrupted by the 24/7 crew. Reginald, after being headbutted by Nia Jax, who totally no-sold it, gets up, ends up pinning Akira Tozawa to capture the 24/7 championship, his first. And then he does some cool parkour moves off of the ring steps to escape. Whatever. The next match was Sheamus and Humberto Carrillo, and again, another match that we've seen several times. But this match was solid. I was very, very impressed. I really enjoyed Sheamus and Humberto Carrillo. For the first time, I could say I actually liked the match. Humberto didn't seem so vanilla. He actually had some of that hard-hitting offense similar to Sheamus's. So it was nice to see a little more fire from Humberto. Maybe this will be something to get him out of the lower card and maybe move him up to the solid mid-card. Damian Priest was watching backstage, which is kind of a giveaway that Sheamus's next challenger seems to be the Archer of Infamy. But again, overall, I thought it was a pretty damn good match. The best match the two of them have had, in my opinion. Sheamus does pick up the win in a little over 10 minutes. Now I'm going to circle back to some of these promos and stuff that we may have missed. So don't get me wrong, we'll get back to that. Up next, Bobby Lashley comes out. His celebration from Money in the Bank. He issues an open challenge. And of all people, someone who I did not expect but was very glad to see back on Raw, the Limitless One himself, Keith Lee, accepting Lashley's challenge. These two guys have a championship contenders match, which I guess is also what Sheamus and Humberto Carrillo had, and I'll touch on that here shortly. But Keith Lee loses in about 6 minutes. Lashley could not get the hurt lock on Keith Lee. He's just too beefy of a boy. But he ends up hitting the Dominator for the win again in about 6 minutes. We're going to come back to this, and again also with the next match. Up next, we had the Raw debut, which was announced during the show that NXT champion Karrion Kross was making his Monday Night Raw debut. And to challenge him was someone we haven't seen in a few weeks, the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy, who came out to his old theme music, No More Words, and I gotta say, it was pretty cool. The crowd really didn't seem that into the music. They were really into Jeff Hardy, though. It's, No More Words is his theme he used back in '08 when he won the WWE Championship for the first time, and a lot of fans loved it. And according to different reports and news stuff, one of the conditions of Jeff re-signing with WWE is that he would be allowed to go back to using No More Words, but they were waiting for fans to return to the building. And now that they are back, Jeff is back to using No More Words. I'll touch more on Karrion Kross after. We'll just get through all that. I've got a couple of rants to go off of. But Jeff Hardy pins Karrion Kross with a roll-up and his feet on the ropes in 1:40. We'll come back to that. We'll circle back, as our wonderful White House press secretary likes to say. Let's circle back. And in the main event, Charlotte Flair defending the Raw Women's Championship yet again against Rhea Ripley. This was just means to an end. This was just means to an end. Rhea picks up the win via DQ in 12 and a half minutes. And then Rhea attacks Charlotte, beats her up after the match, leaving her lying in the ring. But there's still a few minutes left in the show. And with that, the music of the brand new Miss Money in the Bank, Nikki Cross. I'm not going to think it's Nikki Cross. She's almost a superhero. Nikki Cross comes out, cashes in her Money in the Bank briefcase that she had won just 24 hours prior, hits a crossbody from the top rope, pins Charlotte Flair, and Nikki Cross is your brand new Raw Women's Champion. An awesome moment. I'm not going to take away. It was an awesome moment. But overall, Raw was just... There's a couple cool moments. Like I said, we're going to circle back to a few things. Let's go back to Bobby Lashley and Keith Lee. So Keith Lee, who we have not seen since January, he was pulled from Elimination Chamber and seemingly no explanation as to where he's been for the last 6 months. He answers Bobby Lashley's challenge. And again, in the immortal words of Big E, you got two big boys slapping meat. This should have been a lot more than it was. It was a 6-minute match, nothing really to write home about. So you have Keith Lee making his return only to be beat clean in the middle of the ring by Bobby Lashley. They could have put anybody in this position. They could have put anybody in this spot against Lashley just to make him look like $1 million. I don't know why you needed to have the returning Keith Lee in this spot. But after the fact, we do get the returning Bill Goldberg. Goldberg comes out, gets in Lashley's face, says, "I'm next," and that's it. So apparently now it's going to be Lashley versus Goldberg. And I would love to know what Goldberg does just to be able to walk in, get a title match, and be done. I get it. It's going to be a huge marquee match for SummerSlam, Lashley versus Goldberg. But again, I'm kind of over Goldberg. It was cool to see him come back every now and then. After the stuff from a few years ago with like the Saudi match with Undertaker, his stuff with Brock, it just wasn't good. The mystique is gone. The Goldberg mystique is long gone. I personally don't care for what happens with Lashley and Goldberg. But I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to want to see it. It's going to be a huge marquee match for SummerSlam. Me personally, I just don't care. But then let's circle back to Karrion Kross and Jeff Hardy. So you have your current NXT champion, Karrion Kross, who has been undefeated since his debut for the brand a year and a half ago. So Karrion Kross in a year and a half has not been defeated. Now, a few weeks ago, in a match for, I think it was taped for Main Event, they had Karrion Kross come out. I don't even remember who he wrestled off the top of my head. But he had an entrance, no smoke, no Scarlet, no over-the-top entrance. It was basically the entrance we got on Raw. So you have your current NXT men's champion, your current NXT champion, undefeated in his first 18 months with the company. And he gets beat with a roll-up by a babyface who put his feet on the ropes in 1 minute and 40 seconds. Not even 2 full minutes. You know, Vince took everything from Karrion Kross that made him cool. They took away the over-the-top entrance. They took away his real-life wife, Scarlett Bordeaux. And they just turned him into another guy. Now, Karrion Kross has had some pretty good matches on NXT in the last year and a half. He was out injured for a good part. He's a 2-time NXT champion, and you basically turn him into any other guy. So the top champion for your third brand, whether you want to call it developmental anymore or not, that's up for debate. We can talk about that another time. But you take your top champion off your third brand and have him lose to a legend who has, in all honesty, been booked into the ground all year. So let's just go back in time here, okay? So Jeff lost on main event to Veer, who is one of Jinder Mahal's guys on main event. He didn't win the Battle Royal June 28th. He did beat Cedric Alexander June 14th. He lost to Jeff Hardy also on June 14th. Or excuse me, he lost to John Morrison on June 14th. That's when they did that quick double match, which I talked about made no sense. He did beat Cedric the week before. He lost to Mustafa Ali on main event. He lost to Jinder back on May 10th. He lost to Jinder on main event on May 3rd. He lost to The Miz on Raw March 22nd. He lost to Sheamus on Raw February 22nd. He did not win the Elimination Chamber. He lost to Drew McIntyre February 15th. He lost to AJ Styles on February 8th. Jeff Hardy has been on a losing streak. The only matches he's won was against Cedric Alexander twice since February. He's only won 2 matches, both against Cedric Alexander since February. And you have him come in and beat your NXT champion. Now, Dave Meltzer earlier today was talking about, apparently this was a message being sent to Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. What that message is, I don't know, that just to prove that, when you come to Raw, you may be a big deal in NXT, but when you come to Raw, you're just any other guy. Like, you take the things that make these guys special. You take the mystique that these guys have, and you basically just shit it. You just shit the bed. And I may be overreacting with Kross. I mean, he did try to get some of his heat back after the fact, cutting a promo in the ring, saying Jeff made a big mistake. Soon everybody's going to fall and pray. But most of the crowd that were watching probably aren't watching NXT. So they see the champ from NXT. They see him get beat in less than 2 minutes by a roll-up with a baby face that had their feet on the ropes. That is unacceptable booking and treatment of some of your top guys. Karrion Kross is everything that Vince McMahon would want in a superstar. Everything that Vince would want. He's a big, muscular guy. He's got a really good look. He's got a smoking hot wife that can be his manager. You strip all that away from him and have him lose in less than 2 minutes via roll-up. Now, I'll revisit this in a couple weeks. We'll see if this actually plays into a storyline. But again, this is WWE. You can wish in one hand, hope in the other, see which one fills up first. It's just ridiculous. And I got that saying wrong. It's wish in one hand, shit in the other, and see which one fills up first. That's the right one. But again, I'm just not happy with how it went and the treatment of some other guys. The only other thing I want to touch on from Monday Night Raw was the crowd's reaction to Charlotte's promo earlier in the night. Well, they started chanting Becky. Charlotte says, yes, she's at home breastfeeding right now. Well, then Becky responded on Twitter saying, yes, I am breastfeeding at home, and I'm still the most over woman in the company. So I was fully expecting a Becky Lynch return and not the Nikki Cross cash-in. But I'm glad that Nikki's champ. That was a good thing. And we'll see what happens with, Cross and Keith Lee over the next couple weeks. Of course, we got Goldberg and Lashley to look forward to at SummerSlam next month. But Raw was a shit show. And just for informational sake, I'm curious what the Raw numbers were. And I haven't even seen it yet. So last week, Raw did 1.609 million viewers, which was up barely from the previous week's 1.4 million, which was the lowest number in the history of Raw. The lowest number in 30 years. They drew an average of 1.923 million viewers for the 3-hour show. So they were up over 300,000 on average, which is a good sign. However, those who may have not been watching the program just realize that it's just the same old shit on Raw every single week. It's the biggest number for Raw since April 12th, the night after WrestleMania, with 2.026 million. So we'll see what the trend does over the next couple weeks now that fans are back. But again, Raw last night drew 1.923 million over the 3-hour show. Let me go back to the chat here. Suge Gamer, welcome back, my friend. Apparently I had a black screen. I don't know what happened to the screen. Hopefully everything was recording, at least on my end. What if John Cena versus Roman and Cena wins, and then later on Edge wants the title, Cena versus Edge? I think what they're going to do, Power Game, we're going to get, obviously, Cena and Roman at SummerSlam. What comes after that, I don't know. I mean, obviously the rumor is The Rock coming back to go against Roman. Now, I did hear something the other day where there's talk that if The Rock would be unable to wrestle a one-on-one match, either due to insurance reasons for him not being able to compete in a full match due to like his Hollywood obligations and insurance, that they would make it a tag match with Roman and one of the Usos versus The Rock and the other Uso, which would be fine. I think it'd be a great match. But I don't know what you do with Roman after Cena. Maybe a superstar shakeup. That is coming soon at some point this summer. Yeah, Keith Lee is back. Jeff Soul Themes loves it. I do. I really do like No More Words. So I hope Becky Lynch returns soon. I do hope Becky is back soon. I fully expected her to show up on Raw. She's been teasing a comeback for months. She was backstage at Money in the Bank. I'm not sure if she was backstage at Raw. I would assume so. But hopefully we get Becky back here very, very soon. Now I need to do something here. Give me 1 sec here, guys. The last thing I got for y'all tonight is some memes. Got some memes for you guys. So I'm going to play a quick little video while I set that up. We'll go with this one. And we're going to go with the guy who was just recently debuted on Dynamite. Formerly known as Aleister Black, we got Malachi Black. But this is the Aleister Black Elite figure. I'm going to play that for you real quick while I get this stuff set up. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with this week's wrestling memes. Stay tuned. Thumbs up the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll be right back here in just a couple minutes on Wrestling with Fans. What is good, YouTube? Kyle here from Wrestling with Fans, back with a new figure unboxing video. In today's video, we have Aleister Black Elite Series 73. This is one of the more sought-after figures of the last year. It goes for a pretty penny on the secondary market. I picked mine up on Ringside Collectibles for their New Year's sale. So shout out to Ringside Collectibles. I love getting those big Ringside boxes with all the good figures. But let's take a look here. You can see him in his viewing window. Got his picture on this side. Another picture on the other. Take a look at his stats here on the back. Seeking Revenge, the Dutch Destroyer made Johnny Gargano fade to black in a grudge match at NXT TakeOver War Games. And I can't read, and the shit's right in front of me. Go figure. But let's get this bad boy open. TakeOver War Games attire. Really, really awesome figure. You know how we do here. We're going to let him breathe right now. And just like that, there we go. Aleister Black. Let's take a look at the accessories. It just comes with a pair of mic holding hands. But they're going to be just for him because they do have his hand tattoos on there. I guess put it this way so you can read it, right? Got anti-hero written across the fingers there. Really cool. Let's take a look at the figure. First, let's start with the head scan, like we always do. Steven's got his little mole there on his cheek. Face scan looks pretty damn cool, but guys, the entrance vest is where it's at. The detail in this thing is absolutely insane. All the little individual spikes. Just a little sneak peek of what we got there for Aleister Black. But speaking of Aleister Black, jumping back to the chat real quick, before we get into the memes, Power Gamer says that Aleister Black figure might be rare because he's not at WWE anymore. That would be cool. Yes, that figure is probably going to go up in value, but it's more specifically this one here. The Elite 85 Aleister Black, which is the chase variant of this wave. As you can see, you got Taker, Boneyard Match, What Up, Dad? The new Becky, the new Liv, Karrion Kross, and Bray Wyatt. Speaking of Undertaker, my ringside order came in. They were doing a sale, so I picked up 5 boxes of figure stands. So that's 50 new figure stands. And the cool thing is, for anybody who's curious, they do work with Black Series. I got my Sabine Wren on one. Obviously, they're made for WWE figures, but they do also work with G.I. Joe Classifieds, my Cobra Commander here. So they do work for multiple figures, and that's the main reason I got them, because I've got a lot of Star Wars figures. You know, and they do work with Marvel Legends, so that's another one they work with. For those that have the foot pegs. I don't think all of them do. Most of them do. But yeah, I did also pick up the Elite Series 85 Undertaker Boneyard Match. Be on the lookout for that figure unboxing soon. Speaking of figure unboxings, again, Chris and I did some over the last few days. Got some cool content coming, including one. We did a fan takeover line unboxing. He has Christian, and I have the Johnny Gargano from TakeOver Toronto, the Wolverine-inspired attire. I've showed the box off here on the channel. I finally unboxed him. That video's coming to KC Toys. Links to all that are down in the video description. But now, guys, it is time. It is time for this week's wrestling memes. Got some good ones here for you this evening. Hope you guys are enjoying them. If you're watching live, make sure you give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get in to this week's wrestling memes. We're kicking off with the doozy here for all you Pokemon fans, and I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I do play Pokemon Go all the time. But we do have the evolution of a wrestler. It starts with Gilbert, moves up to Ryback, and the final evolution, Goldberg. I mean, that's about as fitting a meme as you can get those 3-stage evolutions for Pokemon. I saw this one earlier today, and I had a good laugh at it. I think one of my biggest problems with Charlotte is that she says she doesn't want to be seen as Ric Flair's daughter, yet she acts like Ric Flair's daughter. That is an accurate statement. And the Shayna pictures just make the meme come alive. And here we have Stone Cold Steve Austin. For all you Connery guys, Sean Connery. I'd give a fuck, but I already gave it to your mother last night. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Stone Cold Steve Austin, played by Sean Connery. And then we got this one. When you just put Edge in his place, and the next thing you hear is, Do 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 do. Roman having flashbacks. I can imagine it's got to be rough when you hear that Cena theme. This is what you call a picture taken at the right moment. This is taken from Money in the Bank on Sunday. You got Zelina there in the white, Natalya. Zelina's head's down at a perfect angle, and the way Natalya's standing there, it looks like Natalya's head's on Zelina's body, but backwards. Some Linda Blair exorcism stuff there. That's just a great, great picture. And, yeah, there was this from SmackDown on Friday. Bland smiling babyface, Finn Balor returns. Us loyal NXT fans who love the Prince. He's no longer pointing finger guns. He is smiling. No, God, please, God, no. I'm not going to do the screaming. If you're a fan of The Office, you know this meme already. And then here we got this one, and this is absolutely true. 100% facts. When a normal person hears glass, oh no. When a wrestling fan hears a glass break, oh hell yeah. I mean, that's when you hear the glass hit your ass. You know what I'm saying? I thought this was pretty good. What wrestlers see going for the hot tag. That's a good one. Here we go. Everybody getting mad about Karrion Kross losing on Raw. Me, just glad my all-time favorite Jeff Hardy is picking up wins and has his best theme song back. There's a lot of you guys out there. Kudos to you. If anybody who watched UFC 264 the other week, we now know why Conor McGregor had a fractured ankle. Orange Cassidy hitting those devastating kicks to the shin. The mystery has been solved. Yep. In memory of Karrion Kross's Raw career. If I had a sound effect for tolling the bell 10 times, I would put it here. Maybe I'll put it in post. For all you fig heads out there, when he says he brings home 6 figures a month, that is me. Right there. That's me. I bring home 6 figs a month. Maybe not those 6 exact ones, even though they would be some cool ones to get. Oh, and I saw this one just before I went live, and I had to add it in here. Hulkamania is like a single grain of sand in the Sahara Desert that is macho madness. Change my mind. Oh, yeah. The cream of the crop. Yeah. For all of you Steven Crowder, Change My Mind fans, which I am one. And the new Avengers movie looks pretty fire. This is from our Wrestling Memes over on Reddit. Again, I'll give credit when I have the credit to give. This is from our Wrestling Memes over on Reddit. I did pick up a few from there. But yeah, the new Avengers movie looks fire with Nikki almost a superhero in a supporting role. This is the re-release of the original Avengers. And then you got this one again from our Wrestling Memes. Someone messaged someone on Facebook whose name was Helena Cell. I still remember when Undertaker threw Mankind off you. Poor Helena. I'm sure many wrestling fanboys are blowing her up on Facebook and Twitter. And I thought this was good. This is a very underused meme. I do like this meme. The best part of WCW, Sting, DDP, the Cruiserweights, Goldberg, the NWO 5th, but celebrating like they were the best. And for a time, they were the best part of WCW. Not the entirety of their run, but at the beginning, they were the best part. Again, this is from our Wrestling Memes, the Wrestling Memes subreddit. Get yourself a man who looks at you the way Paul Heyman looks at Roman Reigns. That right there, guys, is pure affection. Pure affection. And if you remember, I did one the other week with Otis's new look. Again, from The Office. From user LexMe1983 on Wrestling Meme subreddit. Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture and this picture. They are the same. Now, I did say that Otis did remind me of an actor from like the Teen Wolf movie back in the 80s. But now it is official. Otis is the modern Paul Schreier, a.k.a. Bulk from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I thought I couldn't unsee the last one. This I can't unsee now. Just, it's going to be ingrained in my mind. And from Heelbook, my father-in-law letting Google do the auto finish is out of touch, is my boss, keeps burying my guys. Poor Paul. This is again from the last unexpected hero over on Reddit. When the build to your match has been solid, Jesus comes back to watch. So you got a guy there on the left of the screen in full Jesus cosplay. The Lord and Savior has returned to see this match. It looks like can't even tell, it's Darby Allin and somebody. Just, you know you're good when you got Jesus coming back from the dead again to watch your match. And I apologize to all my friends for this. My knowledge of wrestling versus my knowledge of being a normal human being. I am totally sorry. I apologize. And just, Jen, I'm not sure if you're in here, but this is going to be our future house. I worked up these floor plans the other day. You know, we got the bedroom, the kitchen, the bathroom, and then space for all my toys. Sorry, not sorry, babe. And I saw this the other day. It's pretty cool. Grand Theft Auto Vice City with Rezar Ramon. Stylized, very cool. I think it's very fitting. If they ever do a re-release of Vice City, we need like a Razor Ramon character added in as an NPC somewhere. And then this reminded me, this was from Friday. I saw this. Wrestling fans, Vince is ruining everybody. But as soon as No Chance drops, the arena is going absolutely insane. We are all fickle. And I just want to point out the lowest rule sign there is awesome. From What Happened When? Tony Schiavone's podcast. But Charlotte winning the belt. Cesaro breaking his own neck. I feel that, Cesaro. I feel that right in my soul. I thought this one was hilarious. With your fanboys powered combined, I am Captain Wrestling. Not so fast, bitch. Acknowledge him. Roman Reigns coming in to ruin it. Or save it, depending on how you look at it. And I didn't even get to my Peacock rant, but paying $9.99 for ad-free content, the WWE Network, or paying $4.99 to watch WWE Applebee's commercials. Choose wisely, my friends. And here for all you Loki fans out there, Vince coming out, I'm here to announce a newfound focus on Tag Team Wrestling, pal. And they have Hunter B12 or B15, their Hunter B15. On behalf of the Time Variance Authority, I hereby arrest you for crimes against the sacred timeline. Because if Vince ever did come out and say he was putting a focus on tag wrestling, it has to be a variant and not our Vince McMahon. And we're going to close on this one. Again, from the Wrestling Meme subreddit. Nicole Brown Simpson and the Ultimate Warrior had a lot in common. They both wore makeup. They were both peroxide blondes. And they are both dead because of the juice. That is this week in Wrestling Memes. Sleeping Collectibles. What is good, my friend? Thank you. Ethan Page. Yes, thank you. I wasn't sure. I couldn't really tell what that was. But yeah, for all you younger fans who may know who O.J. Simpson is. Orenthal James Simpson, one of the all-time greatest running backs in the NFL. There's a big murder scandal in 95, 96. I was like a freshman or a sophomore in high school. I don't remember what year. It was a freshman or sophomore in high school. He was accused of murdering his wife. And, of course, O.J. Simpson was nicknamed the Juice. All right, we are back in here one more time. Yes, Power Game. That is my future house. I sent that to Jen, and I apologized for that. But we're going to wrap the stream up right here. It is just now 9 o'clock. So before we roll, just remind you, wonderful people, we live stream every single Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on the Wrestling with Fans YouTube channel. And you can follow us at youtube.com/Wrestling with Fans. Again, if you haven't thumbs up the video yet, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can also check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Wrestling with Fans. You can follow us on Instagram at Wrestling with Fans. Check us out on the web. Download us to your favorite podcast listening device. Just search Wrestling with Fans podcast. We are on all the major platforms. And you can find all of those at wrestlingwithfans.com/links. Or you can take us on the go and download us to your favorite. I just did that. We're on all the one. Yeah. So I'm off. I'm tired. It's been a long week already, and it's only Tuesday. The email, wwfshow@gmail.com. All right, real quick here. Power Game says, I love John Cena, but he looked pale. Could it be because he's getting that age? It could just be that he might not have been in the sun lately. You know, filming. Maybe he's filming on set. He's just not getting a lot of sun to get that B12 to tan. And also like the Alexa Bliss's gear Money in the Bank. I do like Alexa's gear, even though it's a little creepy for older guys, kind of dressed like a little schoolgirl. But again, yeah, thanks to everybody for joining in. Power Gaming, Sleeping Collectibles, Suge Gamer, Just Eli, and my boy Chris. Thank you all for joining. Again, KC Toy Show, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. The links are all in the video description. All of the social medias for Wrestling with Fans are in the video description. Make sure you check us out. Follow KC Toys. We got some pure fire coming over there. Just to give you all a heads up here. Thanks, Power Game. I always appreciate having you here. Just some of the videos we've got. Okay, I've got Anakin and Hawk from the Black Series, the new release. I got an Asajj Ventress that I just unboxed. We got a Chris opening a Batman. Chris opening some Mego. I got my Cobra Commander Major Blood unboxing. I got the entire Disney Plus wave of Marvel Legends. Got Johnny Gargano and Christian, which we just did. We did some current retro card Ghostbusters. We got Jen and Mal doing a whole slew of toys. I did some classic X-Men. We did some Marvel Legends villains. We got another NECA Gremlins unboxing. Got we did some NECA Halloween. I got our Roman Reigns. Chris is unboxing Sequest figures, guys. Sequest. You don't want to miss that one when it drops. I did some Star Trek Playmates. I did my Star Wars Rebels. I got my Stormbreaker. I haven't even posted that video yet. I got to do that. The Marvel Legends Thanos. This one right here. Chris did the Shadow. We did a TMNT 2 Super Shredder. Got Ultimate Austin, Ultimate Flair. I did an Ultimate Edge. I got WandaVision. And some Jack's Bone Crunchers coming the way. We got a ton of content coming to the KC Toys channel. Check it out. Link in the video description. But guys, that's going to do it for this stream here. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Same wrestling time. Same wrestling channel. The Wrestling with Fans YouTube channel. But until then, thank you all for watching. Once again, my name is Kyle, and we'll see you next time right here on Wrestling with Fans.